Welcome back to Fearless Home Gardening. My name is Amanda, and today I'm going to give you the who, what, where, when, why, and how on garlic. Okay, let's talk garlic, and make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video so I can show you exactly how to plant garlic. Let's start off with who. Who should plant garlic? Everyone. Literally everyone should plant garlic. From master gardeners to beginner home gardeners to lazy gardeners, garlic is by far one of the easiest things to grow. Now, don't get me wrong, you don't want to ignore it completely. You do want to tend to it, you do want to make sure that it's watered, but it's not like tomatoes or beans, where tomatoes need to be constantly pruned and taken care of and harvested. Beans need to be forever harvested. The more you harvest them, the more beans you get, so you want to keep harvesting those. Garlic is a little different, where you just put it in the ground, you give it some mulch, you give it some water, and you just leave it there. 9 months later, you have garlic. It's truly one of the easiest things to grow. And that brings us to what? What is garlic? That's easy. It's an allium. It's in the same family as onions, chives, leeks, those kind of plants.
In flower meetings, the allium flower is a sign of unity, so it's often given between longtime friends and at weddings.
I just thought that was sweet. Let's really get into the good stuff now. When to plant garlic. You need to plant garlic 30 to 40 days before your first frost, and here's why. While the weather is still warm, once the cloves are planted, they're going to start to grow roots. Those roots are going to help take up the nutrients from the soil and the compost that you've planted them in. This is also why you want to plant your garlic in fresh compost and add in a little bit of well-balanced fertilizer so that it can go ahead and soak up all those nutrients as soon as it's planted. And then in the spring, you can go ahead and refertilize once the winter is gone. During the winter months is when the garlic stops growing altogether and focuses all of its energy on growing larger cloves. In the spring, you'll start to see the sprouts coming up through the soil, reaching out to the sun to start the photosynthesis process. And by early summer, you'll be ready to harvest your garlic. Now, you can totally plant garlic in the spring. I know, I sound like I'm contradicting myself here, but here's the catch. If you plant garlic in the spring, it doesn't go through the dormancy period, and therefore you'll still get garlic, but the cloves will be much smaller. Now, if you're planting your garlic in a southern area or in a warmer climate, you really want to go ahead and trick your garlic, which is a process called vernalization. Essentially, you're just tricking your garlic into thinking that it's wintertime. All you need to do for this is put your garlic in a brown paper bag, stick it in the back of your refrigerator for 3 to 4 weeks, and then after that time, you can go ahead and plant it.
Finding out your first expected frost date is as easy as doing a Google search. Just go to almanac.com and type in frost dates. Then, click on first and last frost dates. Go down to the zip code area and type in your zip code. Hit search. That will bring you right to your town. It'll list your town, along with your altitude, your last spring frost, your first fall frost, and how many days in your growing season.
Once you know when your expected first frost is, go back 30 days on the calendar, and that's when you should plant your garlic. So that brings us to our next W, where? Where can you plant garlic? Honestly, basically anywhere. Like I said before, if you live in a warmer climate though, you are going to want to go ahead and put your garlic through that vernalization process and trick it into thinking that it's gone into dormancy. But to be a little more specific, we're gonna have to go through the 2 different types of garlic. Hardneck and softneck garlic. Hardneck garlic, you'll get a scape in the spring and you can cut that off and it's completely edible. With softneck garlic, you won't get that scape, but you can just go ahead and let the greens grow. You can eat those as well. Those are also edible. And when they start to turn brown is when you're going to want to go ahead and harvest the garlic. But we'll get into that into the summer when we do a video in the summertime. As the names would suggest, hardneck garlic has, you guessed it, a hard neck, and softneck garlic has, can you figure it out? I know, a soft neck, exactly. Now, the hard neck of the hardneck garlic is actually the scape that comes out of it in the springtime. That scape goes all the way down to the roots and takes up room where other cloves could be growing. So with hardneck garlic, you're going to actually get a lot less garlic cloves than you do with softneck garlic. The cloves will be bigger, and there'll be a few of them around the hard garlic scape center, the hard neck of the center, where softneck garlic grows more in like an artichoke kind of a way, and it has a lot of smaller cloves towards the inside and the bigger cloves are on the outside. Most garlic that you buy in a grocery store is soft neck garlic. Hard neck garlic tends to be a little spicier and a little stronger in flavor, and it doesn't quite store as well as soft neck garlic does. Soft neck garlic tends to not really grow as well in the much colder climates. So if you live anywhere north of anywhere north of here really, so anywhere north of zone 6, in zones 5, 4, 3, you really want to just kind of focus on hard neck garlic and not so much the soft neck garlic. But if you live anywhere further south of that, you can go ahead and grow either hard neck or soft neck garlic. So again, to review, hard neck garlic is stronger in flavor, has a hard neck, fewer cloves, a scape, and can be grown anywhere. Soft neck garlic has a milder flavor, a soft neck, more cloves, no scape, and shouldn't really be grown in zones 5 and anywhere north of that. Okay, so that brings us to why. Why should you grow garlic? For me, it's about planning ahead and getting the garden ready for next year. And it's about setting myself up for success, knowing that as soon as that winter frost is gone, those garlic scapes are going to come up, and it's not anything that I have to go out in the freezing cold to plant. It's just a matter of setting yourself up with one step forward into the new year, getting yourself prepared, getting your garden prepared, getting it ready to go, really just psyching yourself up for the next garden season.
All right, my friends, if you have learned something today and you have enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button down below if you don't mind. And then if you're interested, hit the subscribe button. That way you can follow along with us and see how the garlic grows in the summer. Make sure to hit the notifications bell so that you can be emailed when I upload a new video. And then after that, go ahead and leave me a comment. Let's chat. Let me know if you've ever tried growing garlic before or if this is your first time. Then do me a favor, go ahead and share this video on social media so that anyone else who wants to learn how to plant garlic might be able to learn how to do this as well. It really does help get this video and the channel put into the YouTube algorithm, and it really does just help other gardeners. And speaking of helping other gardeners, after the video, hop on over to Facebook and join the Fearless Home Gardening Facebook group. It's a great place to meet other gardeners, ask questions, get answers, get support, and meet other fans of the channel. There is a link to join the group in the description box below. I'll see you over there.
Okay, now for the best part, how to plant your garlic. Yay! Are you ready? I sure am. I love garlic. Come on, let's go do this. Okay, so we are here at the bookshelf bed. You guys may remember from the carrot video, Roger's mom gave us this old bookshelf and we turned it into a raised bed. It worked out perfect. So this is actually where we've gone ahead and planted our garlic for the year. Just go over a few steps and let you know how we went ahead and did that. Now I've had radishes in here, I've had carrots in here twice, I've had peanuts in here, I've had onions in here. So this soil is pretty depleted. Before I planted the garlic, I went ahead and added some fresh compost. Then we added about 3/4 of a cup of Trifecta Plus, which is just really my favorite fertilizer. It's a very well-balanced, well-rounded, organic fertilizer, which I've had absolute amazing success in everything I've grown with it. So we went ahead and amended the soil with compost and Trifecta Plus. So this bed is filled with nutrients, ready for this garlic to grow. The hardneck garlic, the hardneck garlic is the Dugansky hardneck garlic that I got from M.I. Gardner, and the softneck garlic is just a sea garlic that I got from a girlfriend of mine who also plants garlic. So now I didn't have a lot of garlic to grow this year. Since I didn't have that much garlic, I didn't plant it close together. I did plant it a little further apart. If you're planting a lot of garlic close together, you can plant them 2 inches apart on center. That will typically give you enough room to grow your garlic bulbs without having them impacted by each other or crowding each other out. You want to make sure you plant your garlic root side down and pointy side up. So the flat side is where the roots are going to grow from. You want to put that side into the ground, and you want to have the pointy side facing up, and when you put it into the ground, you want to push it down so that the top of the garlic is about 2 inches away from the top of the soil. You want to plant it pretty deep. With garlic, you also want to make sure that when you're separating it, that you leave the paper on the cloves. It'll help resist the moisture, it'll help prevent the clove from rotting. It'll really help to just ensure a successful garlic harvest. There is one more thing that you need to know before you go ahead and plant your own garlic. You really need to buy certified seed garlic. If you go ahead and plant the garlic that you get in your grocery store, it has been sprayed. If it's not organic, it's been sprayed with a growth inhibitor, which means that after it starts to grow, it'll get to a certain point and then it'll stop growing. If you get the organic garlic from the store, it won't have the growth inhibitor on it because it's not an organic chemical. So it won't have that, but here's what you have to understand. When you save seeds for any kind of fruit or vegetable, you always want to save the biggest, healthiest seed that you can. Now, if you're buying garlic from the grocery store, you're not buying the biggest, best, healthiest bulbs. Even if they're the biggest, best, healthiest bulbs in the grocery store, they're still not the biggest, best, healthiest bulbs that you could have bought. Those cloves and those bulbs were saved by the farmer and by the companies who are selling the garlic to the grocery stores. So that they can go ahead and plant their own garlic again the next year for an additional harvest, or so that they can sell it as seed garlic themselves. So you really want to buy organic seed garlic from a reputable retailer, and you are much more likely to have a successful garden harvest that way. Your cloves will be bigger, your bulbs will be bigger, more than likely everything will sprout, and you'll just be much more satisfied and much happier with the garlic that you grow that way. You definitely want to try growing your own garlic. If you have never done it before, I highly suggest it. Like I said, it's one of the easiest things you can grow, and it's just so satisfying. Don't forget to check out my other video on growing carrots. You are going to love it, I promise. It's my top 10 carrot facts that you need to know before you go ahead and sow your carrots. Thanks for joining me, guys. Remember, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. Be fearless in life, be fearless in your garden. Until next time, thanks for joining me. Bye.
Hey guys, today is November 20th and I'm going to give you a quick update on the garlic. The garlic was planted October 18th and I'm just gonna let you know where we're at now. This is the garlic that we planted. As you guys can see, it's growing through the mulch, and it appears, from what I can tell, that the soft neck garlic is growing much bigger than the hard neck garlic. I planted the soft neck garlic on this side over here. This whole side over here is hard neck garlic. And again, over here, if you guys remember, this is all soft neck garlic, and this is a row of hard neck garlic. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to actually go ahead and do an experiment, and we're gonna see which works best in the spring. So in this bed here, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the greens down right to the level of the mulch, and I'm gonna let this bed stay as it is. And then in the summertime, we will see what happens, which one grew better. My thought there is that the garlic clove will then put more energy into making the bulb bigger and less energy into trying to grow more greens through the winter time. And then these can go in tonight's salad.